So, all of my life I've known people who've had difficulty finding work. And all of my life, I've not been one of those people. So what have I been doing differently? Let's talk about that real quick.
Here I am working that 10 to 6. Folks coming in to get the greasy spoon fix. I'm flipping the cakes and frying.
So, I recently became aware of a documentary and a movement called Ban the Box. The box in that title is the felony box on your employment applications that you have to fill out. And the purpose of that being there is so potential employers can find out whether or not they're going to be interviewing a criminal. The problem is that a felony box doesn't really determine how bad or what kind of a criminal you are or were. It just says that you committed a crime. Now, after the hiring and firing I've done in my different management positions, I think this allows employers to be lazy, to simply say, oh, he's a felon, so no, we're not even going to give him the chance. When a lot of times, those are the people who are going to work the hardest for you because they need the chance. Also, throughout all my experiences as a supervisor, I found that the easiest way to fire somebody was to not hire them. So call their previous employers, call their references, ask all the pertinent questions to figuring out whether or not this person might be good for you. Problem is, if the felony box applies to you, you really can't even get to the interview to prove that you're going to be a good employee. I really believe that the felony box is a prime example of cruel and unusual punishment. Because until that is expunged from your record, you carry that with you, even after you're out of prison, even after you're off of probation. And so that will restrict your movement throughout society, even though you have paid your debt. I understand you come from an environment that led you to crime, that led you to incarceration, and now you're faced with having to learn this skill all anew, no matter how old you are. So let's do this. Canvas. Cold call. Move. Every day. I think it was Rockefeller, but I'm not entirely certain, who said, the problem with being unemployed is that from the moment you wake up, you're on the job. Even if you have a thin or no work history, write up a resume. Make sure that resume includes all of your previous employers or people you've done any work for, a contact number for them, the general manager. Make sure you include your references, and it's okay to have more than 3. You need to have at least 3. 3 to 5 is a good number to have. Have all of your pertinent employment information written down on a sheet of paper. Have it on a legal pad. Your employment homework can all go on one legal pad. Once you have all your information put together in one little place, get out there and go find places that are willing to give you an application to fill out. Doesn't matter if they're hiring or not, just every application you can get. One of the things everybody has to deal with nowadays is the part where applications are done almost entirely online. That's a modern piece of So when you go to those places and they say, oh, we only have the online apps, document it and save it for the day that you go to the library to do all of your library stuff. Look at a map of your area, figure out what your bus routes are like and everything. Plan out what days you're going to spend in what parts of town off of those bus routes. Start closest to home and then work your way out from there. Remember, you want a job that's close to home. It's going to save you money on travel. And if your car breaks down or if your bike gets stolen, you can always get there on foot still. Okay. On another sheet of paper, catalog all the places that you applied to and when. And make sure to write down their phone numbers so that you can call them while you're there. Call back after 3 days, and then once a week after that, just to find out the status of your application. And then keep moving. One of 2 things will happen. A, they'll offer you an interview for the position. Or 2, they'll tell you they filled the position. Rarely will you get the former unless you show how sincerely you want the work. I know it might sound like a lot, but this is what it takes. It really is. We've all had that person that we met somewhere along the way who filled out an application, waited a week, and then finally said, well, I guess they're not going to hire me. I'll have to go fill out another application somewhere. That guy never finds work. And he's always borrowing money for Cheetos, too. That guy who's out there in the button-down shirt, the nice jeans or the dress pants, carrying the backpack with a stack of resumes in there, that guy is going to find work. He's going to find an interview anyway, and he's going to get more interviews. Not only is he going to find interviews, he's going to look more employable to those employers. They'll say something like, well, we know that applicant's determined. That's a quality we need here. Your job, until you find a job, is finding a place that sees that in you and has a job to give you. And don't just go to all the places that have help wanted signs up. Go to all of them. Anybody who will give you an application to fill out. Heck, I've gotten called into places just because they had my application from like 3-4 months back. I found work in the meantime, but I was still looking for a second job. Worked out great, and those people were happy that they didn't have to put out a help wanted ad. Okay, so that's filling out the applications and trying to find a place that will give you an interview. Eventually, you're gonna find one. Now, I know you've been working really hard so far, trying to get it all done and all down, and you finally got the job interview. This will be the first of many. Everybody needs work so they can eat. Alright, so you got the interview, you gotta go get ready for it. So, you will be clean, confident, level-headed, and cordial. Be engaging and ask about available hours, benefits, and starting wages. Remember that not only do you have the right, but the responsibility to interview your potential employer. Alright, excellent, had your interview. Now, one of two things will happen. The first is most common, and that is that they don't offer you the job. To start, don't give up and don't slow down on your other application. That will only feed the enemy of your cause. Now, you still need money. Do you have a car? Go find a pizza joint. Ask them if they have any delivery shifts available for you to run. Do you happen to possess a ladder and a car? Drive on over to the more well-to-do neighborhoods and offer your services cleaning gutters. It'll put cash in your pocket. You got a lawnmower? You guessed it. Go mow some lawns. Give plasma, find a labor ready, anything. Think about it. When I was a kid, my family, we would take both cars to drive out to Grandma's to go visit. We'd have lunch and help her in her garden, and then we would head home with both cars. And then we would leapfrog those two cars down the country highway and collect cans out of the ditches. Think about it. You got 2 adults, 3 kids, 4 hours with 2 cars, and by the end of it, you had enough cans to fill the gas tanks in both cars. And that was how we got through the next week. There is always a way. And if you still don't have work, go to this website, takeourjobs.org. This site was set up in 2010 as a response to all the claims that illegal immigrants were taking American jobs. It's easy. You fill out the information and they set you up in your area. As far as I understand it to date, no one's taken them up on this offer. Now eventually, you will find work. I can't promise it'll be a good job with enough hours, but you will eat. And that's why there's one more thing I want to talk about before you go. And this is called upward mobility. Good jobs worth having take time and effort to get, and occasionally require a degree. No, not always. But when you leave one job with no benefits and crappy management, don't just go across the street to the other place that's the same thing with a different sign over the door. Apply at the university, the city, the township, the labor union. All of those places where the employees have it better than you do. Get in on that action, even if you have to check the felony box. Hit them up over and over and over again, and with a little bit of luck, you'll find some measure of the peace and stability I finally got to have after 15 years of working in kitchens. I'm still a cook. Let's make no mistake about that. I'm still a cook. But with regular hours, regular raises, vacation time, I can actually budget now instead of living hand to mouth every week. I'm paying my regular bills, I'm paying some new bills, I'm paying some old bills. I even managed to get a loan for an awesome car. Where I come from, I never thought I could have this. Barbara Ehrenreich talks about the hamster wheel mentality in her book Nickel and Dimed on Not Getting By in America. You have to get so sick and angry about it that you stand up and say, I deserve better. To look at other people's lives and say, I don't want that. There is a difference between surviving and living, and everyone deserves a chance to rest and breathe easy, if even for only a little bit. Now, it doesn't come fast or easy, but if you've got the wherewithal, then you deserve it at the end of the day. Well, I hope this helps. Share, like, subscribe, check out the links in the description down below, and we'll keep learning together what it takes to survive the American machine.
Got them graveyard blues. Got them graveyard blues. Got them graveyard blues.